When writing the equation of a circle, you take the opposite signs of the center. In this problem, we are given a positive 3 and a negative 7. So when we put the center into the standard form, we get x minus 3 squared plus y plus 7 squared. Then you square your radius, which in this problem is 25. So 25 squared is 625. When writing the equation of a line tangent to the circle, we must first find the slope of our radius. We are given the point 6, 2, so we will use that point along with our origin to find the slope of our radius. So we use slope form and do 2 minus 0 over 6 minus 0. This simplifies to give us 2 over 6, or 1 over 3. To find the slope of our tangent line, we take the reciprocal and change the sign of our slope of our radius. So the reciprocal of 1/3 is 3, and we change our sign to negative. Now we put this in point slope form and get y minus 2 equals the slope of our tangent line, which is negative 3, times x minus 6. The 2 and the 6 came from our original point. Then we distribute the negative 3 and get y minus 2 equals negative 3x plus 18. Then we solve for y, add 2 to both sides to get our final equation, which is y equals negative 3x plus 20. To find the radius of a circle, you square root whatever the standard form equals. So in this case, we square root 18 and get 4.24. To find the center of the circle, you take whatever is being added or subtracted to x and y and change its sign. So x minus 3 becomes a positive 3, and then y plus 4 becomes a negative 4. So our center is 3, negative 4. To write the equation of a circle, you take whatever your center is and take the opposite signs. So when you're given a positive 3, you get x minus 3 squared. Then you are given a negative 3, y plus 3 squared. Then to find the radius, you divide the diameter by 2, so 4 divided by 2 is 2. Then in your standard form equation, you square the radius, giving you 4. So your equation is x minus 3 squared plus y plus 3 squared equals 4. To graph your circle, you plot the center, which is over 3, down 3, and then your diameter goes up 2, down 2, and to the left and right 2, and then you connect the dots to make a circle. When writing the equation of a circle in standard form, you first group your variables and move your constant to the other side if it's not already done so. X squared and negative 10x go together. Then you have y squared and add 11 to both sides, so you get x squared minus 10x plus y squared equals 11. You will complete the square with your x variables. You have a for the first term, b for the first term, and c for the term that you're about to get. You take b, which is negative 10, divided by 2, and square it to get 25. You add 25 to both sides to keep both sides of the equation equal. Then you take the variable of the first term, the sign of the second term, and the square root of the third term. So you get x negative 5 squared. Y squared is on its own, and then you add 11 and 25 and get 36. Then to write the equation of the circle, you have x minus 5 squared plus y squared equals 36. And then your center is going to be a positive 5, 0, which your answer is A.
For this one, it says, which shows an equation for the parabola with a focus at 10, 0, and a directrix of x equals 2. It helps if we graph it out. So we're going to graph our focus and our directrix. So where x is 2, we're going to draw a vertical line. And then at 10, 0, we're going to put a point. So now we have those two. Since we know that our focus and our directrix are equidistant from our vertex, we can find our vertex by taking the distance between the directrix and the focus and dividing it by 2. So our p value is 4. So when we go in between those two values, you get your vertex is 6, 0. So when we put it into our equation, we have our 6 with our x value, so x minus 6. Y is by itself, since y minus 0 is just y, so it's y squared. And then since it's opening to the right, it's 1 over our p value, which is 4 times 4, which is 1 over 16. So D is your answer for this problem.
To write the equation of a parabola in standard form, we use the equation x minus h squared equals 4p y minus k. First graph your directrix and your focus. Then find the distance between the line of your directrix and your focus. In this problem, it's 4. Divide it by 2 and you get p. Your vertex is the distance is in between your directrix and your focus, and you get 4, negative 3. 4 is going to be your h, negative 3 is your k. Substitute what you got for p, h, and k into the formula. So you get x minus 4 squared equals 4, negative 2. You use a negative 2 because your parabola is facing down. Y plus 3. Then you divide both sides by a negative 8 and you get negative 1/8 x minus 4 squared equals y plus 3. And then to get it to equal what your answer choices are, you get y plus 3 equals negative 1/8 x minus 4 squared. The first thing that you will do is take your center and your radius and put it in standard form. So you get x plus 2 squared plus y minus 3 squared equals 9. Then you complete the square backwards and then simplify. All circles are similar. They have the same shape but just different sizes. A line is always straight, so no matter how big you draw your circle or how small, and no matter which direction you draw your line in, it's always going to give you an intersection of 2 times. The first thing to do for this problem is graph what you're given, the focus and the directrix. Count the distance between your directrix and your focus and you get 10. When you divide it by 2, you get 5, which is also p for your standard form of a parabola. Count 5 up from your directrix and plot your vertex, which is negative 3, 1. Then insert your vertex and whatever we got for p into the standard form of a parabola. So you get 4 times 5, which is p, y minus 1 equals x plus 3 squared. 4 times 5 gives you 20, and then we're going to insert the point that they give us. So we're given a 6, so we substitute 6 for y and then solve for a, which would be our x value. So we end up getting 20, 6 minus 1 equals x plus 3 squared. 6 minus 1 is 5. Then we multiply 20 times 5 to get 100. To solve for x, we must square root both sides and get 10 equals x plus 3. Subtract 3 on both sides and we get 7 equals x, which answer choice is D. The first step for solving this problem is to graph your circle. Your center is at the origin, and then you go up, down, left and right, whatever your radius is, which the square root of 10 is 3.2. So you go out in every direction, 3.2, and connect the dot to make your circle. Then you graph your line. A line has a slope of negative 3. So you start at your origin, go down 3 over 1, and then you can also go up 3 to the left 1. Draw your line, and you end up getting negative 1, 3 for a point of intersection, and 1, negative 3 for a point of intersection, which your answer choice is B. What we know about a parallelogram is that the diagonals bisect each other. So to differentiate between a parallelogram and a rectangle, we know that in a rectangle the diagonals are congruent. So our answer choices would come down to B and C. But we also know that the diagonals in a rectangle are not perpendicular, So our answer choice would be B. The diagonals are congruent. The first step in solving this problem is to graph your circle. So plot the center, which is at +3, -9. Then go out, up 5, down 5, left and right 5. Then plot the point choices that you were given. So -6, 5, -1, 6, 1, 6, and 6, -5. The only answer choice that it could be is 6, -5. To solve this problem, we first graph what we are given. So the focus at +2, +3, and our directrix at y = 1. Then we will find the distance between our directrix and our focus, which is 2. When we divide this by 2, we get 1, which will be our P. We count 1 up from our directrix and plot our vertex, which is at 2, 2. Then we use the standard form of a parabola and substitute with what we know. So we get x minus h squared equals 4p y minus k. So h is a +2, so we get x minus 2 squared. P is 1, so we get 4 times 1. Then k is a +2, so we get y minus 2. Then we simplify by multiplying 4 and 1, and we get x minus 2 squared equals 4 y minus 2. The first step for solving this problem is to graph what you're given, the focus and the directrix. So plot your focus at -2, 1 and your directrix at -3. Find the distance between your directrix and your focus and plot your vertex, which is at -2 and -1. P is the distance divided by 2, so 4 divided by 2 is 2. Then we substitute what we're given with the vertex and P and substitute this into our standard form of the parabola equation. So we get x minus h, which is -2, so we get x plus 2 squared equals 4p, p is 2, and then y minus k, which is a -1, so we get y plus 1. Multiply 4 and 2 together to get x plus 2 squared equals 8, y plus 1.